of you all use ChatGPT on a regular basis? Fantastic. Why do you use it? How does it help you? Right, so easy time saving. So basically it's effective, it's efficiency, it's productivity, right? I think all of you all are engineers in the room, right? How many of you all feel that you are efficient engineers or you all are productive engineers? So I just see 2 hands. Okay, 3. So probably only 5% of the people feel that they are productive, right? So engineering efficiency, I'll talk about engineering efficiency and how and why PLM matters when it comes to engineering efficiency. And then I will talk about how Team Center, which is the PLM offered by Siemens, is going to help the engineers here become more efficient. My name is Mobin Joseph. I take care of the Team Center or the PLM business at Siemens. And I'm an engineer by heart. And I'm very, I love engineering. I'm very passionate about engineering. And that's the reason why I want to start this by talking about the challenges that we today as engineers face. So if you look at a business process, almost in any organization, there are multiple different departments. There is marketing, there is new product development, there is design department, then there is purchase department, right? There is production, etc. And this is a very simplified business view. In organizations where you don't have enterprise systems in place, there are different tools that are used. So there is PowerPoint, there is Excel, Word. On the manufacturing side, you may use some kind of an ERP. It could be SAP, it could be Oracle, etc. Right? What happens is that across these departments, the communication is broken. Right? So marketing will send some emails, it will send some information in your documents, in files, folders, etc. There is a lot of miscommunication. And as engineers ourselves, we start becoming inefficient because of the way we also manage that data. Does this look familiar? Do you all save your data in this manner? Right? So designers in the house or someone who's creating documentation, this is how their folder structure is going to look. Can anyone tell me which is the latest version? Right? Is it R2 final January 2021? Is it Feb? Or is it design specification final? Right? It's very difficult. Even the person who has saved this information in this format will not be able to find out which is the latest information after 10 days, 15 days. Imagine that person has left the organization. A new person joins, he is confused. What he'll do is he'll end up recreating the design specification. Inefficient process. This happens because of the way we manage data, which is in your local files and folders, right? So it's the folder system. All of us use Microsoft, and all of us are used to this folder structure. We have been saving documents, etc. in this, right? So there is project folders. This leads to multiple duplicate files and folders, searches, and that leads to lost time. This folder structure, we used to follow this in our personal lives probably 10 years, 15 years back. All of us listen to music, right? How did you all save music 10 years back or 15 years back? We would either have a CD, put it, or download music from internet and save it in folders. So if someone is a fan of Shah Rukh Khan, he will have a folder with Shah Rukh Khan songs. If someone is a fan of A.R. Rahman, saved it, download the music, save it in that. Today, do you all do that? What do you all do? You use apps, right? You use Spotify, you use YouTube Music, etc., etc. So, and that has helped you tremendously. So today, if you want to listen to, say, ghazals, you can easily go search for ghazals and a playlist comes. Right? If you want to listen to party music, you want to listen to energizing songs, it's very easy for you all to do that. But is it possible for you to go and just search how many uh, projects I have worked for Mahindra and Mahindra. Right? You will not be able to do that quickly. Or how many projects involve this particular subassembly. You'll not be able to identify that. Right? It is because of the way we manage the data today. What happens with this kind of managing of data? If you talk about the design team, they would be working on an updated 3D model version 5.2. What happens to manufacturing team? For that same 3D, they'll be working on 4.8. What happens to quality? For that same 3D, which is 5.2, he might be working on a version of 3.9. What happens? Design is not aware of manufacturing constraints. They're saving data locally. What happens to manufacturing team? Material changes are not communicated properly, informed properly. They again have a different system of managing the data. What happens to quality? Sometimes they miss tolerance information. They are also dependent on email-based data sharing. This leads to the version control problem, which leads to a lot of problems in your manufacturing. So as a designer, he would have done his job, but then manufacturing could be working on an older version. So what happens is that 78% of the engineers struggle in finding the data. And you saw with that previous example of design specification, final, etc., how difficult is it to find the right version. They waste a lot of time in terms of finding that data. They waste 24% of the time, which is approximately what? In a week, 1 day is missed just in trying to find the right data. And then that can lead to a lot of errors. Right? So this leads to inefficiency within the engineering community. What happens? All of us get frustrated. I myself was an engineer. I was at Bosch for around 7 years working on various projects. And as an engineer, we get frustrated. There is waste of time. There are communication gaps. You get calls from manufacturing. You get calls from production saying, why have you sent me an outdated version? There are version confusion. And if someone leaves, the knowledge goes off from the organization. What happens? You become the version control, right? So if some mistake happens, you are blamed because you provided the wrong version. Your boss asks, why is there a delay, right? And then you are like, let me see, because I have to go through hundreds of Excel sheets. I have to go through tens of different emails to find out why delays are happening. And then that leads to frustration. That leads to inefficiency. We all know the answer, right? So we know that, to solve this problem, there are solutions which are available in the market. But what happens many times, that you get a solution. So in this case, a shovel is a solution. But you say, hey, I already have a spoon. I already have an existing solution. Let me use that, right? Or you also hear that if it is not broken, why to mend it, right? And this is something which is very common in a lot of organizations where, yaar, chal raha hai, chalne do. Why change? But Charles Darwin says that it is not the strongest of the species that survives, not the most intelligent one, but the one who adapts, right? And we are all examples of that as humans. So the solution to this entire thing is having an integrated data management solution where you are able to manage your data well. So you can think of it as, say, a Spotify for engineers, or YouTube Music for engineers, if you use that analogy. It helps you in managing your data centrally, so you have a single source of truth. You'll have connected documentations. You will have the right version across the organizations. Everyone will know what is the right version, what is the released version. And everyone in the organization can be part of the workflows, be it ECNs, ECRs, design release processes. You'll be aware of the workflows and you'll be part of the workflow process. We also hear when we talk to our customers that when it comes to solutions such as PLM, implementing that, adopting that is difficult, right? And we have helped a lot of customers in terms of implementation and adoption journey of PLM. So typically when it comes to the implementation journey, the way you should start is assessing, understanding your current processes, what your future process should be, and also select the right PLM for you all. Right? So there are a lot of PLMs in the market. Which is the right PLM for you? So that kind of assessment also becomes important to meet your business needs. After the assessment is done, it's important to ensure that you deploy properly, you adopt properly, and that is why you should start not as a big bang, but as pilot projects. Ensure that your teams are comfortable, and then adopt, right? And some of the problems that we see, people who buy PLM is where they would have bought the solution, but they would not utilize it because the teams are not trained or they are not aware how to use it. So it's important that your teams or you who are using it, adopt it and understand the benefits. And lastly, improve the PLM because your organization is growing, so the PLM should also adopt to how your organization is growing at scale. So typically, once you have a PLM in place, this is how your data flow from, say, marketing to production happens. So you starts with requirements. You should be able to manage your requirements, manage your mechanical CAD data. You might be using various different CAD applications. Manage your electronic data, right? Electronics, electrical components are becoming more and more critical today. Manage that within one platform. So you have an integrated platform to manage both your mechanical as well as electronics data. Create your engineering bill of material from that. Manage your simulation data as well. And from there, do visualization. So everyone is now used to 3D. People are moving to the world of 3D. So how you can visualize the data, how you can then do your DFMEAs, your PFMEAs to ensure that the product that you are rolling out is of the right quality. Do problem-solving issue management, which then leads to release and change management. We call it ECRs, ECNs, etc. Create work instructions. And then from there are times when you want this information to be floated into the ERP, because there are a lot of cases where you will have some set of data, but the data which is handled in the ERP, which is with the production, they may be different. So it's also important that the data flows seamlessly into the ERP so that the data that engineering has and the data that production has are all synced and linked. So you can then transfer your 2D documents, technical documents, BOM, change information back into the ERP. And when it comes to inventory, when it comes to cost information, bring that back into PLM. Right, so this is typically the data flow, and the business impact of this is that you are able to save, as an organization, 30% of your time. Now, this 30% means that you can either do more projects or you can do your projects faster. Right, you can improve your time to market, which brings to faster launches. You can reduce your errors anywhere by 25%, and with less errors, first time right, you're also able to reduce your cost. So this is the business impact once you have a PLM in place. And this is where I want to talk about Teamcenter, which is the PLM offered by Siemens. So Teamcenter is a platform with a lot of customers who use Teamcenter. In India itself, we have close to 250 to 300 customers, and globally we have around 5,000 customers. A few of us, the people who are sitting here, would also be using Teamcenter as the PLM platform. The beauty of this solution is that it is a solution which is catering to small customers as well as to some of the largest customers. So it's a solution which is very modular in nature. So if it's a startup, we have modules, packages for those startups. If it's a large customer, say 5,000, 10,000 users, we have solutions and capabilities targeted towards them as well, which makes it very flexible. It makes it very scalable. So this is an example of one of the space startups who use Teamcenter along with some of our other solutions such as NX and SimCenter that you heard before. Another example of a two-wheeler manufacturer, a two-wheeler startup who uses Teamcenter. And a third example of a very large machine builder who has close to 400 users who use Teamcenter. Right? So the reason why I'm showing you this is that it's a solution which can complement small, medium-scale businesses as well as large enterprise business and startups as well. So as a platform, what does it offer? It's modular, as I mentioned previously. It is able to capture your ideations, ideas, projects, concepts. People who do systems level engineering or model-based systems engineering, you can manage your data. You can start your design data management, your simulation data management, manage your bill of materials, which could be a combination of engineering BOMs, manufacturing BOM, which could be plant-specific or bill of processes, bill of equipment, as well as service BOMs. And you are also able to manage your quality, supply chain, and well as program management. And as you can see, these are blocks, which means that it's modular. So as a customer, if you want to start with design data management, you can start with that. Or if you want to do design data management, EBOM as well as MBOM together, you can also do that. And then if you want to integrate with your ERPs, you can also do that in the first phase itself or in the second phase. The beauty of Teamcenter is that it is a very it has a very open architecture, which means that you might be using various different CAD. We can integrate with various different CAD applications. You might be using various other enterprise applications, right? So you might be using different ERPs, SAP, Oracle, etc. We can integrate. You might be using certain CRM systems. We can integrate that. Or you might be using some legacy homegrown developed apps to manage your quality, to manage your customer relationship data. We can integrate that with Teamcenter through our active integration framework. Now, I've spoken about Teamcenter. I'll just give you a view of how this looks and how it is easy to manage and store your data. So this is the user interface. The user is just going and searching for the keyword battery. And all the information related to the battery will be available for the user. So it says that there are 34 parts, 4 documents, 2 changes. And then the user can go and click on the part that the user is looking for. You will have your version, you will have the released versions, you can see the relationship. So you see that this particular battery pack is used in 4 different assemblies. So it gives you that insight. You can see the history. So who has created the part, what is the release status, whether version A is production released, development released. You can see that. And then you can open the 3D model in Teamcenter. Now this is a beauty of visualization that you get with Teamcenter, where if you don't have a PLM and you want to view the 3D, you need to invest in CAD. And CAD licenses are expensive. Once the data is in Teamcenter, even without the CAD licenses, you can view the data in Teamcenter. You can do cross sections. You can do measurements. This becomes very handy for the purchase team, the manufacturing team, right? So they can take a snapshot, send it to their supplier, check the feasibility of manufacturing, or the production team can take this data and check for the ability to assemble in their production lines. You have the bill of material details also available here. And you can also manage your documents, which are all version controlled. So it's not only your CAD data, but also all the other associated documents, which will have version control. From here, you can also release it for an approval process. So you do not have to send information over emails. The user can go, click the workflow, click the release stage, whether it's a development release, obsolete, or production release, and accordingly select the workflow, and it goes to the workflow process. So this is how Teamcenter looks like. In terms of deployment of Teamcenter, there are 3 different ways of deploying. The typical way was on-prem. Then with cloud coming in, people started deploying enterprise application onto third-party clouds such as AWS, Google Cloud, or Azure. But now we have launched, for the last 2 years back, we have launched Teamcenter X, which is the cloud or the SaaS-based PLM from Siemens. The benefit of Teamcenter X is that you are not reliant now on the IT team, right? So it's Siemens who takes the ownership. It is deployed on the cloud. Your data becomes extremely secure. and upgrades, managing of the infrastructure, everything is taken care by Siemens, which gives tremendous productivity to the organization as well. Like, you all are good at making your products, but you all are not good at managing enterprise applications. So the idea here is that you make your products, we manage the environment for you, or we manage the PLM environment for you. Now, with Teamcenter X, we understand that it cannot be a one-fit-all solution. So what we have done is that we have divided this into different tiers, catering to the size of the companies or the requirements from the different companies. So we have something called as Teamcenter X Essentials, which is available with our NXX. So if you are using NXX, which is our CAD platform which Avinash spoke about, you get this basic data management inbuilt within NXX, which helps you do your basic data management, single-step approval processes, check-in and check-out of data. But if you're looking at advanced workflows, if you're looking at access controls, multiple types of workflows, then we have Teamcenter X Standard, which is mainly catering to customers who are only dependent on mechanical CAD. You are not doing much electronics. So we have Standard. For customers who are doing electronic as well as mechanical, we have the Advanced. And then for customers who are large, who are looking at integrating with multiple different systems, who are looking at much more functionalities, project management, DFMEA, PFMEA, requirements management, etc., we have Teamcenter X Premium, which gives you the complete scalability and functionality of Teamcenter. And the way we have structured this is that as a customer, you can start with, say, a standard, and after 2 years, 3 years, if your organization is scaling or you feel the requirement, you can move into Teamcenter X Premium. So it gives you the path of upgradation as well. Now, in the PLM world, you always hear about this concept of PDM and PLM, right? So some people say, no, we just want to use PDM. Some people say, no, we want a full-fledged PLM capability. So with this Standard, Advanced, Essentials, what we have done is that basically created a PDM layer for you. So whatever you see here, which is Essential, Standard, and Advanced, and the capabilities which are captured here, these are all typically the PDM capability, which is basically to manage your product data. And then if you are looking at integrations, which is extending your data to manufacturing, extending your data to your vendors, extending your data upstream to your marketing team, then we have the premium capability. So this basically shows some of the so this is structure management in Teamcenter, where you are able to manage your structures, you are able to manage your BOM, you are able to manage your documents in Teamcenter, you are able to manage your change management with Teamcenter X Standard, and then you will have your configured workflows, etc. So once you have this digital backbone that we talk about, that is where you can then leverage AI functionalities. Right? So today, if you want to leverage AI at your workplace, right, what you have to do is that you have to take your data and upload it into a ChatGPT, upload it into a Gemini, etc. And what happens is that it's your data which you are putting it outside your organization, which is putting your company at risk. So what we have done is that we have built in certain capabilities within Teamcenter. So across Siemens, we have all our solutions with AI capabilities. When it comes to Teamcenter, the AI capability that we have built in is based on a framework called RAG framework, which is Retrieval Augment Generation, which means that your data resides within Teamcenter. It will reside within your environment. It is not going outside your organization. And the LLM, the large language model, it could be a ChatGPT, it could be a Claude, or various other models, that is just accessing your data to give you the information. So this ensures that your data resides within your framework or within your instance and not exposed to the outside world. So let's just look at an example of how that works. So say this is the UI. The user goes to chat and says that, hey, can you tell me what is the requirement for a certain component when he's designing a particular product. So gives the query and then searches, and Team Center will search and give you the results. And the result that is coming is from the documentation which is stored within your environment, right? So it gives you that information, it gives you the link, and that way you are able to access access the data, the intelligence which is stored within your environment. So to conclude, once you have a PLM, once you have a digital backbone such as Team Center, it will help you in developing your products faster. It will help you in achieving your business goals, helps you improve your performance, your profitability. It helps you in reducing your cost, as well as it helps you grow, and you can also grow your PLM as your business grows. To conclude, the overall benefit from a business perspective, which is important for the CXOs in the room, is that you are able to take your products faster into the market, anywhere between 15 and 35%. So if you are spending, say, 24 months in rolling out a new product, you'll be able to bring it to 18 months, you'll be able to bring it to 16 months, and you're also able to reduce your development cost. Right? So that's the overall benefit from a business perspective, which will help you in building a business case to present to the board when it comes to why a PLM is required. Right? So that's it from my side. I hope I gave you a fair understanding about why a PLM is required, why as engineers it will help you in improving your efficiency, and from an organization perspective, what is the business value, right? Thank you.